How's it going, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Reel Me In, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for, but hey, I'm going to give it to you anyways. This is a podcast where I talk about anything, everything, and, well, anything about movies. I'm your host, Chase Lee, and welcome to episode 126. This is going to be a doozy, everyone. For all you guys that are new listening to this podcast, welcome. What I do on this podcast is I talk about some movie news, some trailers that dropped, and I will have a review of a movie or movies coming out on the weekend that I record, and of course the box office results for the weekend. And for this week, I am going to do the news, trailers, have my review of The Jungle Book, and then box office results. I will say this: I apologize for this weekend, guys. My internet is out, so I am sitting right now in a McDonald's parking lot using their free Wi-Fi to record this episode because, yeah, if I record it on the network, it just sometimes it's ass and sometimes it's slow, and I needed some Wi-Fi. So there's going to be no YouTube stream for this episode. It's just going to be strictly audio for this week. I apologize for that once again, but hey, what are you going to do? I mean, this is the best I can do, but I have to get the episode out to you guys, so this is what I'm doing. But first, how you guys doing? You guys doing pretty good? It's been a pretty interesting week. The Dallas International Film Festival started, and I'm in the middle of that right now, and that's actually what next week's show is going to be all about. All the selections I see, but it's going pretty well. It's raining really hard right here in Dallas, and so if you hear a bunch of raindrops like right there hitting my windshield, then that's what that is. So it's been pretty shitty out here weather-wise, but we got to keep going, in this world. So, all right, so let's begin with some movie news. All right, the first piece of news is that Jungle Book 2 was announced earlier this week, way before the first one even came out. And I can tell you, after seeing the movie, the first one, I can tell you this is a great idea, first of all. And second of all, when I tell you the box office numbers, you're going to be like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no shit. I kind of figured like a sequel was going to come. Now, announcing it before a movie comes out typically means that a studio is confident and they're like, you know what? Let's throw the sequel out there and let's get the buzz going, and maybe people will be more interested in the first one. I totally get that for marketing-wise and stuff, and that's really fucking smart. But yeah, I'm really excited for a sequel. My only hesitation with the sequel is, one, the direct-to-DVD Disney sequel that they did, the animated one, that was poop. But when you watch the first one, I don't know where the hell they're going to go with it. I don't know what they're going to do or expand the story. And maybe that's like kind of the intrigue and the excitement that I have for the sequel. Not only to see the amazing, visuals come back in this type of style, but just to see where the story goes. It's all about curiosity for me. But Jungle Book 2 has been announced, and Jon Favreau, I do not know if he's going to direct it or not. He probably won't. He's probably going to do other stuff. I wish he could do another smaller movie like Chef. But if he does bigger movies like Jungle Book, that's fine, everything. But I like Chef quite a bit. But yeah, Jungle Book 2 coming out. Yeah, thanks Disney for the Captain Obvious there. All right, the next piece of news is another Captain Obvious. Is the Batman solo movie is coming and is going to be directed, co-written, and starring Mr. Ben Affleck. Now, a lot of people universally can agree that on Batman v Superman, Ben Affleck was a boss Batman. I don't care that he killed. He is unhinged. He is older. He has seen some shit. It makes total fucking sense. Lay off of it. Anyways, we knew that back in the day when Ben Affleck was cast as Batman, he had to deal with Warner Brothers to do a standalone Batman film. If you don't think he didn't have that, then you're crazy, because he's got a good relationship with Warner Brothers, with directing like The Town and Argo. Argo won Best Picture. And I think Warner Brothers is also releasing his movie coming out later this year, the Boston movie, going back to his roots, so with like Good Will Hunting and stuff. So he's got a good relationship with Warner Brothers. So Kevin Tsujihara, the president of Warner Brothers, came out and said, yeah, Ben Affleck is directing it. Thanks, we kind of figured. But that's really cool. I cannot wait to see the solo Batman movie. I mean, when you look at movies like The Town and like just how gritty and intense it was, imagine how a fucking Batman movie is gonna feel. It's gonna be amazing. I have no other words to describe it. Ben Affleck, you sir, are one of my favorites. All right. The third piece of news is that Spider-Man has its title. It comes out next year in July 2017. The title for the new Spider-Man that's going to be co-produced by Sony and Marvel is called, wait for it everyone, because it's a fucking doozy. Oh, it's so good. So good. So good. Spider-Man Homecoming. I guess Spider-Man Prom was already taken. I guess Spider-Man Senior Formal was taken. I guess Spider-Man Spring Dance was taken. And I guess Spider-Man Sock Hop was taken. But you know what? They settle on Homecoming. I don't care for the title. I honestly don't. Am I excited to see Spider-Man? Yeah. I'm excited to see this new kind of reincarnation with the Marvel Cinematic Universe over at Disney now. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see what they do. And I am getting tired of them rebooting it, but hopefully this will be the definitive Spider-Man for, more than 2 years. But as far as the title goes, I get it, Disney. I get it, Marvel. You want to be cheeky and you want to be like, well, Spider-Man's coming home, so it's fucking Homecoming. He's coming home. I get it. He's coming back to you. But why? And I also get it. It's a double meaning, He's in high school. I'm sure there's going to be some homecoming shit in there. That's beautiful. That's cute. It's cutesy. Whatever the fuck you want to make of it. But why, though? Why that title? Not a fan of it. I'm still going to go see the movie, but as far as the title goes, I am not too stoked about that. And going off of Spider-Man Homecoming, another piece of news that is rumored, this is a two-parter, is that Vulture will be the villain for the movie, and also rumored, or in talks, which is basically meaning he just needs to sign it, Michael fucking Keaton is in talks to play Vulture. Now, that is fucking awesome. I don't know much about Vulture, but I know Vulture is like a crabby old man, basically that, dresses up as a vulture, and he is one of the many villains in the rogue gallery of Spider-Man. But Michael Keaton can do no wrong. I mean, the guy has had a great resurgence, with like Birdman and Spotlight, and hell, I even liked him in The Other Guys. In 2010 and stuff. So he's been in movies for a very long time, but he kind of died off for a little bit, and now he's come back. He's been in 2 Best Picture winners in a row. Think about that. That's fucking crazy. And he was the lead character in both. Like, God, that's nuts. But yeah, if he's going to be in this one as Vulture, I can totally see that. If Vulture's supposed to be like this old man that goes after this kid, which is kind of fucked up in many ways, but if that's the character, I think Michael Keaton fits that perfectly. You just look at him, and it's like, he looks like a crabby old man. It looks like, if you take a dump on his lawn, he's going to get mad. I don't know why anyone would get mad. It's just a piece of shit on your lawn, sir. It's like, you act like it's gross or something. But I'm really excited to see Michael Keaton as Vulture in Spider-Man. I'm just going to go ahead and call it fact right now until otherwise. But yeah, it sounds good to me, except for Homecoming. That can go in the trash. All right. The next piece of news is that Sony wants to combine the Men in Black and 21 Jump Street universe and everything. That's totally fine and dandy. Props to them. You can do whatever the hell you want. It's their properties. So they have a title for that weird chemistry-infused, crossover. It's just it's like that kid in chemistry class that, like, put like 2 of them together and just like, it just exploded in class, and like the kid died. I don't know. That was too dark. But I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a weird kind of nightmarish combination. I'm actually really curious to see it. But the title is going to be called MIB 23. I think that's a fine title. I'm not like jumping up and down for it. My only hesitation is that, I mean, you got to put the Jump Street guys on the poster or something, or at forefront in the trailer, because when you think of MIB 23, it's like, is it the 23rd Men in Black? Ha 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 ha. No, people are, people are not going to get that, the 23 is in reference to the next installment after 22 Jump Street. So, it's fine, it's a fine title or whatever, but I worry quite a bit that people will be very confused. But then again, I don't know who the hell's going to see this. Unless the trailer is like super dope, or like you hear a bunch of great reviews from this movie, I can't really see a bunch of people flocking to it, so yeah. And the last piece of news, guys, is that it was announced at CinemaCon that Avatar is going to have 4 sequels coming in 2018. 2020? 2021 and 23 or something like that, or 2020. I forgot what the end date was, but it was like 5 years from now. But no, I take that back, like 8 years, whatever. But he's announced that 2, 3, 4, and 5 are coming. Once 2 hits in 2018, I believe it's 1 every 2 years. James Cameron, buddy, what are you doing, man? Well, I mean, props to him. He's very dedicated and committed. And I actually do want to see the Avatar sequels, but having 4 of them going up to Avatar 5 is very daunting. It's very exhausting just reading that. And I like the first Avatar. I don't know why people shit on that movie a lot, but I like it quite a bit. And I'm looking forward to see how James Cameron expands his universes and stuff, because he's really good at making sequels. Look at Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Look at Aliens. The guy knows how to do his shit. And plus, I don't know why people rag on him all the time. I have virtually liked everything that he's put his name on. Now, he's put his name on a couple producing things that I'm not too fond with, but for the most part, in terms of directing, the guy is fucking awesome. So, I don't understand the hate for Jimmy Cam over there, but you know what? As far as the 4 Avatar sequels go, I'm excited for them, but it is kind of exhausting to know that we had that 9-year gap between the first and second one, and then 2, 3, 4, 5 are going to happen all within 5 years. Now listen, if Avatar 2 is a smash hit, which I think it will be, but with critics and fans, I think most of us will probably be okay with a bunch of sequels. Now, if it's, mediocre or kind of bad, it's like, I don't know if I can do 3 more of these after that. But if it's a good one, a good sequel, a strong follow-up, I think you're going to see a lot more people be okay with this. But as of right now, it does feel a little exhausting, even though I'm excited to see them. So that is the news, guys, for this week. What was your favorite news story? Comment that place right up on my face and let me know. All right, so let's get into some trailers that dropped. There were some very good. Actually, I like all of these that we're about to talk about, so it's going to be a battle to the death on to which one's my favorite. The first one I want to talk about is the first full, I guess, teaser, if you will, because they did like a small-ass teaser last year in November, but it was just a bunch of images and words. But this is like, you get like a sense of the movie type of deal. It's a little bit more than a teaser, even though it's classified as a teaser, but whatever. It's Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Now, this is the prequel to Harry Potter. It's going to be set in that universe. J.K. Rowling is writing the script, and David Yates is directing. He directed the last 4 Harry Potters, which are arguably the best ones. The trailer came out, I watched it, I loved it. I love the sense of magic in this trailer. It has a great feel to it. It feels old school. It feels like you're going back to that first Harry Potter, because I grew up with the Harry Potter movies, as well as the books, too, but I was, what was I? I believe I was 12 years old when the first one came out, and all the actors in the movie were around my age. They were like, I think they were my age because I think I'm the same age as Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson. So I essentially grew up with these characters and whatnot, and it's just been a wild ride. And it is one of those franchises I'm going to hold near and dear to my heart. And if I ever have little spawns running around in the future, then I'm definitely going to expose them to this franchise. But as far as Fantastic Beasts goes, it feels like a Harry Potter movie. It felt like I went back into that world. They referenced Dumbledore in the trailer. That was pretty fucking cool. All the magic stuff looked really great. I love the cloud of mystery behind it and stuff. Like Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, he's carrying around this briefcase in the trailer with a bunch of creatures in it. And, he flips the little toggle on the keyhole, I think, and it says Muggle worthy, and it changes to normal clothes and stuff. It's great. It's got that sense of wonderment and just awe, and I can't wait to go back to this universe. My brother's a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I never read any of the books. I read like half of the first one and like a little bit of the third one, and that was it. So I basically just went off the movies, and the movies are fantastic. That's why I don't like to read the books before the movies, because I don't like to compare. Because a lot of people like to compare. It's not as good as the books. Yeah, no shit. It's an adaptation, but I go blind every single time, and into each installment, and I'm always impressed. So I cannot wait for this one. It's going to be great. The next one I want to talk about is Doctor Strange. This is Marvel's movie coming out in November, following Civil War, which comes out in a few weeks. That will be the next one. And I really liked it quite a bit, actually. Doctor Strange was weird, man. Like in the trailer, like it was really trippy, and it's gonna bend time and reality and shit, and it's gonna be like what people are quoting on the internet. It's gonna be like the inception of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But Benedict Cumberbatch looks great. The effects look amazing, and just the mysticism and the magic involved in this movie is going to be something completely different than what we've seen in the Marvel movies, and I cannot wait to see it. It looks great. The imagery looks cool. Scott Derrickson is directing it. He directed Sinister, and I really like the first Sinister. I didn't see the second one because I heard it was garbage, but he's got a good eye for creating really kind of unique and dark and creepy imagery, and I think when you mix that flavor with like a Doctor Strange, which is already weird within itself, I think it turns out to be a really interesting kind of, I don't know, like a fantasy horror almost. So I'm really looking forward to Doctor Strange. Benedict Cumberbatch looks great. Chiwetel Ejiofor, we didn't really see much of him. Mads Mikkelsen, he's always fantastic. And Tilda Swinton, a lot of people are kind of dogging her bald look. I think she's rocking that bald cap, man, and I think she looks fine as the Ancient One. The person that Benedict Cumberbatch's character Stephen Strange goes to get his abilities or whatever. So I don't know much about the comic. I'm just pulling it out of my ass. But yeah, Tilda Swinton looks great, but I'm really excited for Doctor Strange. It just looks really, really fun, really unique, and something different, something fresh, which is always great to see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Even though I'm a huge fan, it's nice to see movies like a Guardians or like an Ant-Man and see something completely different to keep it fresh. Because as much as I love it, if you do like the same like style over and over again, or the same like subgenre, it's gonna get boring. Like The Winter Soldier, political thriller, Ant-Man, heist movie, Guardians of the Galaxy, the funny space opera. Let's see. Thor would count as like a fantasy movie. Scarlet Witch is introducing magic. Captain America, the first one's like it's like a nice little thriller. Iron Man's like a cool action movie. Like it's just they always like to tackle different subgenres, and I'm always a huge fan of that. Keep it fresh, keep it lively. Let's keep it going, shall we? All right. Then the next one I want to talk about is the Neon Demon, and I don't know much about this movie. I honestly don't. And guess what? I don't know much about the trailer either. It's from the director of Drive and Only God Forgives, Nicholas Winding Refn, and the Neon Demon. Visually, it looks good. It looks creepy. I love the way Refn lights his scenes with specific colors, and it makes it so vibrant and luscious to look at. It's pure eye candy for cinema goers. I don't know much about the story. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it 100 in this joint. I do not know much about the movie. And when you watch the trailer, you honestly don't know that much. But the imagery is striking, it is engaging, and that makes me want to see it. And plus, I love Drive quite a bit. And I actually do like Only God Forgives. He's a very unique director. He's a very visually stunning director. And the cinematography always kicks ass. So the Neon Demon has captured my interest, even though I was going to see it regardless. But just with the imagery alone, since I don't really know what the hell's going on for right now until I see the movie, I'm going to go see it hands down, and I cannot wait. And the last trailer I want to talk about is The Birth of a Nation. This is the Nate Parker directed, written, produced, starring film at Sundance that did very, very well, and Netflix actually approached them to buy it out for like $20 million, and they turned it down to take Fox Searchlight's offer, which I think was 15, to get released in theaters and kind of have more of a push towards award season and stuff. Since it's got the same kind of feel and tone of like a 12 Years a Slave. Makes total sense. I totally get that business decision. The trailer warrants all that hype because this movie looks amazing. I loved the imagery in this one. It was so powerful. There were some shots where I was like, damn, like that just kind of makes you like feel shitty as a human being. All the acting looked really powerful and just really strong. Like I said, I love the cinematography. I love the way it looks. The music was a good choice for it. It was just a good fucking teaser trailer for this movie. I cannot wait for this. Now, I thought before I even saw the trailer that this movie was going to have it focus on a slave and have him rebel against the slave owners and stuff and start a war. I thought that's what it was about. The rebellion part is correct, but the main character, Nate Parker, is actually an African American that they hire, that slave owners hire to comfort the slaves. That's severely fucked up. And it's actually more fucked up than 12 Years a Slave if you think about it. So I didn't know that. So he's actually like, he's not even a slave at all, but you know, he starts this rebellion to fight against this cruel thing that we called slavery back in the day. So yeah, it looks really great. It looks Oscar worthy for sure. I cannot wait for it. A lot of people said that it's in some ways it's actually even better than 12 Years a Slave, which gets me pumped because 12 Years a Slave, regardless of its depressing themes and tone, it's a well-crafted piece of cinema, and I think everyone should see it at least once in their life. Now, listen, I own it on Blu-ray, and I think to myself, like, maybe I should watch this tonight. No, it is like, you know, a once every few years thing, but I am glad I own it because it is a masterpiece in cinema, and really it just kind of makes us look back on history and just see how shitty we were, and it was told in a very just kind of beautiful and haunting way, and that's what I'm hoping Birth of a Nation is. But that teaser trailer was great, and that's a great way to end this segment. So what were some of you guys' favorite trailers that dropped this week? Was it Fantastic Beasts? Was it Doctor Strange? Neon Demon? Birth of a Nation? Let me know in the comments down below in my face, son. Alright, let's get into the meat. The appetizers are gone. The salad is gone. The little garden salad that you had on your table is now gone. Now, we get to the appetizer of the podcast, the main course, the main dish that everyone wants to feast on. And that would be my review of The Jungle Book. Alright, so The Jungle Book. I gotta start off with this review by saying, holy damn, I don't know what software they used for this movie, but it looks fucking beautiful. It just does. It is a visually stunning movie, and I think Jon Favreau really kind of honed in on something really special in terms of the way movies can look nowadays, because it got to a point where it looked so realistic where I was like, oh yeah, that's right, that's not in the jungle, it's on a fucking soundstage in Los Angeles. Yeah, God, it just blows my mind still thinking about it. Alright, so let's get real and break this down. Okay, so let's start with the writing and directing. Now, if you guys have grown up with Disney movies, The Jungle Book from 1967, I believe, is a classic. I saw it as a kid and stuff. You know, the Bare Necessities song is stuck in everyone's fucking head for the next week now. But it's a cool little story about, you know, this kid who's raised by wolves, and you know, he just travels throughout the jungle and meets all these colorful cast of characters or whatever. An orangutan, a bear, a snake, and he's being chased by a tiger because the tiger wants, to kill him, essentially. And, you know, there's reason why and stuff. And it's just kind of like a little jungle adventure going on there in that there woods. So I thought the story, I mean, it's verbatim just like the original cartoon, so the story didn't really change or anything. But I will say this. In the cartoon, we didn't mind because we were kids and stuff, but when I watched it in the live-action version, because I'm going to be honest with you, there was only three things that bothered me in the movie. Just three. One of which was King Louie's song, because in the original Jungle Book, he sings a song while Mowgli's being surrounded by him and all of his orangutan like gang buddies. When we watch it in the cartoon, we don't really think about it. When it was sung in the movie, it felt out of place. Now, Baloo's song, Bare Necessities, I thought that was fine, that was cute or whatever. That didn't feel as jarring as the King Louie song, so I'll give the Bare Necessity ones a pass. But the King Louie song felt super out of place, and it was just thrown in there, and that was super jarring to the movie. Even though I love that segment, Christopher Walken, the King Louie, give me a fucking banana. I can't do a Christopher Walken. I did for a little bit. It was like for like a second and a half, and then I lost it. I did some like weird fucking old man like eating out of Long John Silver's on a Tuesday. So yeah, I love that King Louie segment, but the song felt out of place. It was unnecessary. The other thing. Oh, actually, that's more into the acting. The third thing. So I have another point. I'll get into the acting. But the third thing that bothered me was Scarlett Johansson's Kaa, the snake that basically tries to eat him and while seducing him and choking him out and stuff. And it's really graphic stuff. If you play some porno music, in the background, it'd be a pretty freaky jungle porno going on there. So, but in retrospect, she was just a transition for Baloo to come on screen. And she wasn't really needed. She wasn't really necessary. It was a really creepy and well done scene. I was like sitting there with my mouth open like, alrighty then. This snake wants to do some stuff to this young little boy. Okay. So I thought it was a little unnecessary. And I like Scarlett Johansson quite a bit. And I think she pretty... my voice is cracked. That was nice. That was lovely for all those... people out there listening. I thought her voice work in the movie was great. I just wish there was either more of Kaa or none of her at all. You know what I'm saying? So that part was fine. It was creepy. God, this movie's PG, and like some of the stuff in this is it's insane. But yeah, just her part could have been eliminated just more. But that's it with the story in terms of that. With the parts that bugged me. Yeah, the dialogue's fine. It's not like anything spectacular, and the story is, is basic. It's basically just, this little kid trying to find, a tribe of men to go to, and, he runs into all these colorful groups of characters, and then, he realizes, oh shit, man's terrible, and then, whoo, and then he's running from Shere Khan at the same time. So, so the story's fine, the dialogue's fine. The directing. Jon Favreau, holy shit. Now listen, I took my girlfriend to see this, and I did not tell her where this movie was shot. Now I said, afterwards, I was like, where do you think this movie was shot? And she was like, well, it was probably shot in a jungle somewhere, and they CGI'd the animals. And I was like, okay, that's a fine answer. And I told her it was all shot in a green screen in downtown Los Angeles, and she was like, So I got to hand it off to Jon Favreau. He created such a visually rich and complex type of movie in terms of the jungle and the way it was structured and created with all the animals put in. It felt realistic. I'm not gonna lie, there were a couple scenes that you were like, that was green screen. But for the most part, I'm talking like 99.9%, you are into this movie 100%. You feel like you're there. It is, you feel like it's a large jungle. It is beautiful. It is green. It is luscious. And then when you get to the dark parts towards the end, it's dark. It's grim. It's got the right shadows. It just looks so visually stunning. I think Jon Favreau killed it in this movie. He's definitely the star of the movie. So let's jump into the acting. Okay, let's start with the second complaint I had with this movie. I don't think Neil Setti, is that how you pronounce his name? I believe he's the little kid that plays Mowgli. I thought he was fine. There were a couple of scenes where he kind of delivered his lines really poorly, but I thought for the most part he was fine, he was okay, he was serviceable. Because this movie, like, is... it's a better movie with the supporting cast than the main character, unfortunately. But I do like the kid. I think he obviously looks like Mowgli, but as far as, like, you know, the personality goes and just the curiosity of a kid and, you know, the wonderment of a kid, you know, exploring this jungle, he was fine, he was okay, and, you know, he delivered some really bad lines or whatever. Not bad lines, but, like, lines delivered very poorly. So he was fine, he was okay, but that is kind of a gripe because he is the main character and stuff, and I just didn't really get sucked into his performance, but I thought he was serviceable. But as far as everyone else goes, holy shit, everyone killed it. Ben Kingsley as the Panther, I'm blanking on his name, the character's name. Bagoo? No? Oh my god, I don't know. Yeah, apparently I'm not a Jungle Book fan. Apparently I didn't see the movie because I forgot his name. But no, Ben Kingsley was great. His voice was very powerful as a mentor to Mowgli and stuff. Love that stuff. Baloo, played by Bill Murray. I did not think he was going to work. But when I watched the trailers, I was like, I'm sold. I was even sold in the movie. He was funny. He was that lightheartedness to the movie that we needed to kind of balance out the darkness of all the other characters. Baloo was great. He was a great friend to Mowgli and stuff, and I can't wait to see Bill Murray come back and voice him in the sequel. Like I said, Scarlett Johansson, great. Just, you know, part either be taken out or extended. Lupita Nyong'o, I think, plays the wolf. She's really great. She was a nice, loving mother to Mowgli, and you know, very protective of her cubs and stuff. And I saw that. I saw the presence of a powerful mother wolf or whatever. So that was nice. All right, and then the last one. Shere Khan, played by Idris Elba. I forgot King Louie, but I gotta talk about Shere Khan. Idris Elba has got one of the most like powerful voices in Hollywood, and the fact that you put it in with Shere Khan, who is very terrifying, by the way, he brought a really great villain for the movie. I felt his presence on screen. It was strong. He was threatening. He had great motivation onto why he was chasing Mowgli and wanting to kill him and stuff. I totally get his motivation, where he was coming from, even though he's a dick. He's a dick tiger. He's a tiger dick. Okay? That's what he is. And he sold it very well, but you understood his motives and stuff, so those were very clear. But I just loved him. He was scary. He was terrifying. Loved it, loved it, loved it. And then, of course, like I said, I forgot, King Louie. Christopher Walken, King Louie. Kid, my ears, they got ears. Yeah, once again, it's like walking for like a second, and then it's like I said, some weird old guy playing chess in the park. Yeah, no, he was great as King Louie. That might have been one of my favorite sections of the movie. He's just a spoiled, big orangutan wanting power and stuff, and I thought Christopher Walken, his voice for King Louie was priceless. Yeah, so the acting all around is very good, except for Mowgli, serviceable. Cinematography, going with the visuals. It is luscious. It is green. It is inviting. It can be terrifying. It is well shot in terms of how they structured the animated scenes and whatnot, and the green screen. It just looks so visually stunning. Like, it is so good in terms of that eye candy, man. You can't beat it. It's good. Like, it's great. It's great. Like, I don't know what to say about the cinematography. It's just beautiful. Simply stunning. Editing wise, the movie is about an hour and a half, hour 40, I believe. It flies by for me. I really enjoy myself. I had a fun time. All the emotions were there. I was laughing at some points with Bill Murray. I was in awe from the visual wonder of this movie. I was actually terrified of Shere Khan because, god damn, like, that fucking tiger. So yeah, I thought the pace of the movie was really well handled. I didn't feel like there was any slow parts. I didn't feel like anything was wasted besides the cost scene. But honestly, that scene was literally like, I think a minute or two. It was not that long. But everything else seemed to flow very well, so I really appreciated the rhythm of this movie and stuff, and the music in the movie is very well handled, like the score and whatnot. Like I said, King Louis' song felt out of place, felt jagged or whatever, but the Baroness Essing songs kind of did too, but I was a little bit more okay with that. So guys, this is a visual masterwork from Jon Favreau. It's a great story. About a little boy just trying to find his place in the jungle, and it's got a really strong message about how humans are dicks as well. So humans and Shere Khan, they're the dicks in this movie. I would highly recommend this movie. It's really well handled. The visuals are stunning. The voice work from the supporting cast is amazing. I'm going high with this one, guys. I'm going to give The Jungle Book an A-. It is fantastic. I fucking loved it. So, what did you guys think of The Jungle Book? Comment in the place where my face and let me know what you thought of The Jungle Book. It is definitely one of my favorites of the year so far. It's so enjoyable. A- for The Jungle Book. Go see it. All right, so let's get into the box office results for the weekend, guys. No shock, you know what number one is, but how much so? We'll discuss that in a minute. All right, so number 5, we had Zootopia with 8 million, and right now, domestically it's at 311, and worldwide it's at 882. Holy shit, this movie keeps on trucking. Disney has 2 movies in the top 5. That is nuts. But Zootopia is great. I will still keep recommending it to you guys until it's out of the top 5. Great movie. Batman v Superman, number 9. Number 4 with 9 million. Sorry, that was confusing. Like I said, since I'm not on my computer, I'm recording from my phone. I have everything written down, and I went dyslexic for a minute. 9 more million for Batman v Superman. Domestically, it's got 311. It's almost like verbatim what Zootopia is almost. But worldwide, it's at 827. Guys, Warner Brothers needed to make about $1 billion to break even. I mean, they're gonna. I don't know, man. It's gonna be rough for them. I'm still looking forward to their movies, but Batman v Superman is just taking huge nosedives every single week, and oh God. I just think it gets a lot more hate than it deserves, but, that's neither here nor there. You can listen to the podcast on that. The Boss came in at number 3 with 10 million. Domestically, it's got 40 million. Worldwide, it's got 44 on a $29 million budget. It needs to make about 60, 65-ish, with marketing to break even. So it's got a little bit to go. Number 2, Barbershop, The Next Cut, with 20 million. There's no budget listed. There's no worldwide numbers. It just made 20 million. That's a pretty great opening for that movie, especially a third in the series and stuff. And the Barbershop films have got a lot of big fan base and stuff, so that makes sense to me. And number 1 is The Jungle Book. But how much did it make? How much did The Book of Jungle make? The Jungle Book made $103 million. I gotta be honest with you, I didn't think it was gonna break 100. I thought it was gonna hit around 75, 80. I thought it was gonna do those high of numbers, but man, that exceeded expectations and stuff, and that's fucking awesome, man. Worldwide, right now, on its opening weekend, $290 million. It almost made a $300 million opening weekend. That's fucking impressive. Its budget is $175. So doubling that, because you gotta remember the theaters gotta take their cuts and stuff. It's gonna be about $350. But with the marketing stuff, I'm gonna push it to about $400. About $400 million to break even. The fact that they're already at $290, they're gonna make that money hand over fist, son. They're gonna do just fine. They're gonna more than break even. But next week is The Huntsman Winter's War. No one's going to see that movie. Jungle Book's going to dominate 2 weeks in a row. It's going to be impressive. And even the last week of April, there's really nothing coming out. So the Jungle Book has got 2 more weeks to rake in all that cash before another Disney movie, Civil War, comes out. Disney's just fucking crushing this year. So that is it for the box office, guys. Those are the results. Congratulations, Jungle Book. You are boss. All right, guys, that will do it for this week's episode of Real Me and Colin, the movie podcast. Like I said, I really do apologize. There's no video version, no internet. I'm recording from a parking lot right now. It's very stressful and weird because people keep staring at me, and I just want to, flip them off. But I'm courteous. I'll be a courteous guy until, I get done recording, and then I'll yell at them. But, yeah, so no video version, sorry guys, but next week, episode 127, I will have a guest on. Don't know who it is. I will ask them, and they can join me if they want, and if not, I'll go to the next person. I'll keep going to the next person, because I'm going to be going over, with a guest, the Dallas International Film Festival. It's going on right now, but next week's show is literally the end of the festival, so I'm going to go over all the titles that I watch. Right now, I've seen 3 of them. My goal is to do 15. That's how many's on my list. But if I can't do 15, I'll probably most likely do 10 or 12. So I'm going to be covering all of them. And my guest will be covering the movies he or she watched and stuff. And it'll be fun. It won't be like super long or thing. We'll breeze through them and stuff, and we'll just recommend them or not recommend them, and just overall experiences and stuff. But I will have a guest next week to go over the 2016 Dallas International Film Festival. It's going to be a lot of fun for episode 127. If you want to follow me on Twitter, it's @RealChaseLee. YouTube, link in the description below to subscribe there, watch movie reviews, all that jazz. It is all there. So that will do it for this week's episode, guys. I want to thank you for listening. You guys are always badass, always awesome. Tell your friends about this podcast and say that this is the definitive one. This is the best one. Spread this around like a good disease across the internet. I trust you guys. You guys will make it happen. But no, seriously though, you guys are amazing. I'm glad that you guys go to mine every single week. It does mean a lot, so I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys next week for another episode of Real Me and Colin, a movie podcast, where you didn't really ask for it, but hey, I gave it to you anyways. I'm Chase Lee, and hey, listen, if you listen to this entire fucking podcast and you are not a movie fan, well, hey, hopefully I convinced you to be one. See you guys next week for episode 127. Peace out. Have a good week. Good day, good night, whenever the hell you're listening to this. Peace out.